Hello. Today what I want to do is I want to share the bait snare with you. This kit right here I got in the Silent Hunter April 2018 Apoca box. And it comes with one already pre-made, one bait snare trap, and the materials to make another. It's a complicated snare, but it's not. It's according to how comfortable you are with primitive traps. Now, this one here takes a little bit of work, but I'm not going to carve these up. I'm going to grab some material around here, which I would have out here, and that's what I would use to make my snare. So you have these two pieces right here with a notch in the middle. This stick goes in the middle like that, and this is attached to an upright, and a snare goes over top of here. This is a bait stick, and animal puts his head through, snaps that opens that up, and this flies up and catches the animal. That's the basics of it. Now what I'm going to do is cut some material out here, construct it, and show you how it works with real material that you'd find in the woods, and some of the fundamentals of the trap. So I've got my stick here. This was a dead sapling. So I'm just going to cut it off 8 inches or so. I'll cut this one off and then cut another piece about the same height. They're the same height. Now I need one more piece. So I'll just cut that off. We'll say 4 inches. So I've got the 3 pieces here that I need. And now it's just a matter of carving. I've got to carve a notch around the bottom of both. That's going to act as a hinge when I tie it together. I've got to put a 7 notch here and a 7 notch there. That's what this is going to go in between. Got to flatten these two ends and such, and then make this into a bait stick. Now what I've got to do is I've got to make this a somewhat of on a 45, this back side. Now I can just keep doing it this way, or I can just round it off like this. This, all I've got to do is put a groove around this just to tie. String around to make my hinge. That'll work right there. Now I'm going to choose this as my back side. This will go against a tree. Now all I've got to do is cut a 7-notch in here. So I can take my knife and just press down and carve it in, or I can take my saw. Just like that. Gonna do that to the other side. So I've got these all cut out now. These are going to be tied together like this. This is going to be a wedge stick with the upright on it, and this will be my bait stick. Now what I'm going to do right now is tie these. I just put a granny knot. I've always called it. I'm going to put that together. I'm going to put just a couple more granny knots in this, just to give it a little bit of distance between the two. Like that there. And now I'll tie this one to it. Okay, I'll turn these around, make sure that that's pretty good, looks pretty good, and I'll just tie it off. So what I have is basically a hinge here, and they're tied together like that. And then I can tie this to the tree. This will be my bait stick, and I can bring that down and wedge this in between. I'll show you how to set this up. My upright stick is over that way, so I want to have, it's going to come down and press here, so I want to have that 7-notch pointed towards that stick. I've got to tie the bottom as well. So I've got the end here, and it's on the spring tree here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my flat sides up, and I'll tie a little knot in here first. But what I want to do is I want to go up about 12 inches and tie another knot. I may double knot that because that's going to actually be where I'm going to tie my snare to. Now this, I'm just going to wrap it around and tie it. Now this here should have a groove in it. It will make it easier. Sun's setting, so I am kind of hurrying, and I apologize for that. But it's good to know also that you can get by with doing it this way as well. So let's try setting this without the snare and just see how it goes. Now whenever you set anything like this, always keep your eyes out of the way. So I'm going to put this under like this, kind of hold that under, and put this in. There we go, it's set. Watch this. That's how it works. Now I'll set up the snare. Now there's many ways to make a snare. I'm going to show you a very simple way. I'm going to take a bite like this, come down here, just going to wrap around like this and come back through. Just like that. Boom. I've got a loop. Take this and I put this up through the other end, and now I have a snare. Now you can make this loop smaller, whatever, but that's a simple snare and it will work. So let's reset this. I'm going to put this under first, keeping my face out of the way. Bring that up, my bait stick, and hooking it on. Now always keep your face away from that. Now you put your snare out here like this, but you can stick some sticks in the ground and such to hold this out. There you go. Now they have to put their head in through there to get at the bait. Now seeing this trap and fixing that up, I can come up with a lot of ideas. I could leave this and not even use that, only cut this one. And if I had a dead tree that I was hooking up to, I could carve my notches right in that. And then tie this one right to that dead tree. So there's many options. I could use this also, have it out further, more like this, and have it as a pressure. And have your snare laid over top so you can catch by the foot. Many different options. That's the good thing about primitive traps. They always get you thinking. So I just want to share this one with you. It's a great survival skill, and I want to thank Creek at a Pocket Box for sharing another very cool trap. Thanks a lot. Take care.